I was the highest singer of, but
Soprano 1, probably. Yeah.
But then it all went wrong after that.
Did it?
Did it?
Did it?
Bye 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 bye. I think that's as good as we could expect.
Okay, that wasn't.
We're recording!
Jody
We're recording! It's live!
Wait, you need to move that way. We'll squidging up. We'll squidging up this way.
Are we sharing this
Yeah,
mic?
you're sharing the mic,
Okay.
You've got your own mic there. Yeah. You just
welcome to the new podcast.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
This is
Shall we do this?
people.
Yay! There we go.
Welcome to Bad Boy Running. And
Thanks for having us.
Bad girl running. Bad woman running.
Women's running podcast.
Bad women
that
running.
run badly.
Bad women. Yeah, it's a crossover episode. It's so nice. We're so
have you ever done one before?
Not like this.
Oh. You made that sound like no, we'd never cross the streams. You mustn't. No. Did you listen to the crossover episode we did with 10 Junk Miles, where David was basically hammered and ended up calling his it wasn't even ex-girlfriend, it was a wannabe ex-girlfriend.
She was there.
And leaving a message on her voicemail to say he was going to threaten to kill her kids. She did call back.
She did call back.
She did call back.
And it made sense at the time. But I was about 6 pints in. So.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a very long story. So we won't go into that now. It turned out until that podcast, she'd never realised who that card was from. And so I'd always thought that she'd just known of my love and rejected me. Turned out
she
never knew.
And she ruined it all by having 3 kids in the middle of it.
But she admitted on the podcast, the live podcast, that if she had known, it would have been on. The trajectory of David's life would have changed.
There's no way we're gonna reach such.
I think we can.
Hey, why are we?
No, we're setting the standard.
Yeah.
We can change the course of history here.
And I happen to have Obama's mobile phone.
Oh, here
What?
we go.
No.
Be still. We're beating hard.
Should we introduce ourselves individually? How about you two introduce each other?
Oh God, this is like
shall
doing.
we?
It's like
And
being
then
on a
we'll
training
set some
course.
ground rules.
Oh yeah,
There are any.
shit training course, isn't it? Yeah.
Shit training course.
So shall I introduce? I'm going to introduce Esther Newman.
And a little
man.
highlight and a low light.
Oh, of working
what?
with her or of her personality.
Or just
God,
summarise.
Okay. Across the table from me, I have Esther Newman, editor of Women's Running magazine, co-host of the Women's Running podcast, occasional Instagrammer, and relatively regular runner.
Yeah.
And
Thanks.
also occasional drinker of Sauvignon Blanc. A highlight of Esther, the package before us.
Yeah.
She's wonderful and creative and funny and lovely. A low light is she can be incredibly neurotic.
All very true.
Any examples?
All very true.
Oh, examples. Are we getting
Examples
into
of neuroses. It's tricky when it.
Well, you love
when one
a
is
colour-coded calendar. Yeah.
calendar.
This is actually like a job interview when somebody says, "What are your flaws?" and you go, "Oh, I'm such a perfectionist." I'm doing that to Esther right now. She is my boss.
Stuff that's so great. The power dynamic needs to be here. Yeah, I can't say anything really bad.
What's the biggest grammatical error that you've caused in the magazine that she has responded to, and what was the worst response she's ever had?
I know. Okay, I'm gonna say this on the podcast.
Oh, I know a really good one actually. Oh, is it going to be as bad as the one I think of? No, you go.
That I've done?
No. I don't know one that you've done. I don't think.
So one thing that when I first started writing reviews for the magazine, I've
Not reviews of the magazine.
no, not reviews. That's me.
Just
me.
Is we on Google getting another 5-star?
So we review bits and running bits, shoes, gear and stuff. And when I first started contributing, writing reviews of kit, I definitely led with a personal touch. Like I would be like, oh, this fell down and it was a bit shit and I didn't really get on with this, and it was a lot from the first person.
Yeah.
And I definitely did clock not only my review in the mag rewritten to not be from the first person, to be like be a little softer and we, but also I did notice it in the style guide of this isn't how you should write a review.
Do you remember what it was?
It was a running belt that was about £4 from Decathlon.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're in the style guide as how not to do
I know,
it.
I was in the style guide. However, I'm pulling it back by saying that now I think we have changed our voice somewhat.
We have. We
And
are now much more first
We're
person.
very first person, so I'm going to take credit
You
for
were ahead of your time.
pioneering.
Yes.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
don't believe that's in the current style guide anymore.
And
I don't think we have a style guide. I think you.
Get it to this deadline, and can it not be too shit?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Does Wordly allow this to get through?
Yeah. Can you use Grammarly?
Yeah.
Not Grammarly, that's what I meant, not Wordly. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I had your back.
That's why his stuff was so shit. That was it.
Yeah, it was all
It was even a made-up app.
five-letter words.
And some of them missing as well. That was like it's the shittest race review we've ever read.
There we go. That's
shall I do you now,
dirt
then?
on Esther Newman.
Okay, dirt on Holly. Holly Taylor, digital editor of Women's Running, co-host of the podcast. What were the questions? Oh God, what have we had? I'm trying to think. We've had so many tiers, haven't we, between us? So I don't know.
I gave you a sort of a slight critique of your personality here, and you're going to be kind and do times we've been
that's it,
together.
guilt.
I feel awful now.
And ladies, the magazine's not that bad. All these tiers.
Well,
Why are we putting this out? Why? I have zero integrity.
I don't know, because like highlights would definitely be and lowlights in a way, but they would all be like quite personal in-person stuff. So we've had.
So she's
We've
achieved
had
nothing
such fun.
significant.
Nothing. Any kind of
We've had a good laugh about
But
it.
we have definitely
Apart from
had laughs.
contributing to the style guide.
Oh my God! I tell you what, you have I think a highlight is. I invited Holly onto the podcast. So it used to be me interviewing people in a really dry fashion for almost a year. And I think in that first episode, you dropped the F-bomb. And I was like, oh, fuck it. Okay, come on, let's just take it from there. And you basically made the style guide for the podcast, which was like super sweary and us being fun. So, yeah.
Imagine the
love that.
podcast or the magazine without you.
Yeah.
Change the
It would
style.
have been better written, but the podcast wouldn't have been as
I
good.
think it most definitely would have been. I think it would be Esther having that in you all the time and wanting to get it out, but being like, I can't.
I like
and
the
then we
idea
just
of a
needed to be bad influence to each other.
podcast that it slowly builds up.
Oh, it did.
See, by the
Yes.
time you get to episode
Yeah.
100, you're like me, myself, and Irene. So you're like fucking swearing.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did.
Just
We did.
pure
We
anger.
tend to have, we have conversations usually off air about whether or not we should actually drop the C-bomb.
Have you ever dropped a C-bomb on Bad Boy Running?
I think we've dropped the C.
Probably only reporting stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you
Oh,
put
no,
the H
we
in
have-
Jesus
we have-
H. Christ.
We've only,
I just thought of that.
we've only talked about the only time we've dropped the C bomb is when we're talking about Ran Like Her, haven't we? When we're talking
to
about
run
Seb
like
Coe,
a-
when his dad
Yeah.
said to him that he ran like a.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so it was reporting someone else, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we
I-
turned it into a sticker that we sold to people.
Oh,
so,
I love that. Monetising it. I always
love
feel
that.
as though we almost have a duty to drop the C-bomb as feminists.
You want to promote the cunt more?
Oh, yes, let's say it.
Dave's done it!
I know. I feel we want to reclaim
cis
it.
Yes.
white male,
Reclaim
bloody,
the word.
there you are, mansplaining, bloody.
But is it going to be a new word that, in the same way we can't use the N word, that men can't
Yeah.
use the C
Oh,
words?
potentially.
Ooh,
Go on.
don't
Should we
know.
pitch
Yeah, but that's
that?
only you
That'd
can't
be
use
good.
it. You only can't use it if you're not one, and you absolutely can use the C word.
So I've
If you're part of the community, you're allowed to
you
use
are,
it.
you are,
Yeah.
you are very much.
I've got a story for you that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell.
Tell it.
Cool.
You are, of course, you're allowed to tell it.
I knew someone recently who dropped the N bomb during a rap karaoke.
Okay, a white person.
Yeah. At a work do.
Oh dear.
Not at a work do. With work.
Okay.
How do we feel about that?
Very, very uncomfortable.
I mean, first of all, a
can I make a guess who?
karaoke.
It wasn't even in the lyrics though. It was
No!
it was part of it was but if you're in the flow,
Oh, don't. It makes you
Yes.
think, doesn't it?
I sort of understand
if you're
to
in
an
the
extent.
flow, like pulling out, it's like a handbrake turn and a commit to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Succession, if you watched that. And what's his face in that? When Kendall, when he does his rapping and stuff. And it's
Yes.
God, and you just want to crawl up inside your own arse, don't you?
Yes.
I think
yeah.
I would cringe anyway having to do if I had to do karaoke and if I had to do a rap in front of my colleagues.
For your work colleagues. That sounds like
Yeah.
the shittest work
And I
ever.
think particularly if I threw a slur in.
And what karaoke machine is going to bring that up on the machine anyway?
Yes, South Korean one. No, but that's probably right. Although, what's wrong with just to counter you on doing a rap? I have learnt a rap with my wife to do for karaoke because she refuses to do
What do you mean
karaoke.
you've learned?
have
You've
you?
learned. Fridge. You know karaoke, you don't need to learn it. The words are on the screen.
It does if there's moves accompanying.
There's a routine.
What?
Yeah.
Do you understand karaoke is singing, no dancing? Like, no one likes the people dancing in a karaoke.
She doesn't want to do
Karaoke rooms are not made for that.
But she refuses to do it, and I've convinced her
What
this
are you
could
talking
be. It's Kids by Robbie Williams.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I think my cringe was just because I am the whitest woman alive. And I would
Aside
be so
from me.
embarrassed, to try and pretend that I had any sort of the
You could always
swag.
do
I can't even
Informer.
say that.
Informer
Other-
by Snow would be a good option for you.
okay. Maybe I'll stick with Robbie
you're,
Williams.
you're
I
aging
think I
yourself
could
with
probably-
that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that. I nodded along.
Kids, you might need to Google that one.
don't know.
Esther doesn't.
I don't know anything.
How old
We've
am
discussed
I?
this in our last episode. I
This
don't
is
know
right.
anything post-erasure.
Informer. You know, so
Are we do you have to pay
sounds
copyright? Like, do you have to pay music stuff on your podcast?
Oh, do you guys?
No, because we
well.
asked Pato Banter and he said yes.
He said,
I emailed him and he said, yeah.
Oh, you're such stars.
But UB40 don't know that we use their
UB40.
music. So there's a chance that
Oh yeah,
sure they
all
own
the
the
candles
rights
might be
and not-
furious, but Pato said yes. Pato fucking says yes, and
Oh my
he
God.
makes that song, doesn't he?
I mean, what else do we? Yeah.
We've not finished going around the table.
Oh,
you
no,
guys are
of
supposed
course.
to introduce you two.
Oh, okay. Your best man speech went on for fucking hours. I wonder why I got so hammered at his wedding. God, this best man speech at his wedding was literally, it's like someone reciting the Canterbury fucking Tales. It was so long. I don't understand why that was so long.
I didn't know you felt this way.
God, like you wonder why I can't remember anything after 7 o'clock. It was because of that. We were just dying there going,
many
when is this
anecdotes.
going to stop?
Are we going there?
Okay, no, we're not going
Okay.
to go. No, actually, we won't go there.
Are we-
No, don't show that fucking photo. Let's not have that photo at his wedding.
We've got to see it now.
Oh, come on.
I got a bit drunk at his wedding very early on.
Yeah.
So I got so drunk, people started saying that I was being nice to everyone, and they didn't know what was happening. It was really weird. Bruno was going, "Why is he being nice to me? Why is he saying I'm a really good business person and stuff like that? Like what's happening? Is there some kind of weird thing going on?"
This is so we're showing Holly first.
Okay.
Human Buckaroo at the wedding.
It's an excellent game.
So this here is a full can of drink,
Yeah.
and this is a glass of wine on his.
Oh, that
on
is
his,
a glass of red.
on his hat.
A glass of red on the hat. Okay, there's various other sort of.
That's a lot.
This is Annie taking a photo with him, but
I can't even imagine what this looks like.
Yeah, there's
So-
various bits of paraphernalia.
it's hard for people at home. And
This is the thing that you do to cats, isn't it? Where you just load
What?
up loads of... There's a cat thing where you just put stuff on their backs and things until...
and cats
And they accept it?
If they're asleep.
Okay.
And this is kind of what's happened to you.
I have done a similar thing at a house party before with a friend who passed out.
I can't believe the wine. The wine is good.
I stayed on there for a long time, apparently.
You see, my annoyance was I thought I told everyone not to show this photo, so that in about 5 years' time, just bring it out. Like on a massive poster at the Run show.
Oh yeah, great
Just do like a
idea.
6 foot thing where Jody would have no idea this is. But unfortunately,
They couldn't. People were so desperate to show me this photo. The show's so dead. They couldn't wait till I woke up. Could they? They literally sat there waiting for me to wake up. Fucking wake up.
And he didn't wake up for days. He didn't wake up for days.
Yeah, exactly. Wake up. I want to show you.
We had a friend and it lasted for years that we had a big house party when we all left school and we all got super, super drunk. And we started a rumour, he passed out, couldn't remember anything past a certain point, and we started a rumour that he had stripped down, stood on the wall and windmilled everyone.
Wow.
And we fully thought he'd done that
No.
for many years. Like, we only told him a couple of years ago that didn't happen.
Are we
He was so
talking?
relieved.
Are we talking like monsoon or a gust of wind?
I think we're talking monsoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't know, because we can say whatever we want. It was all made up. But let's go monsoon if we're going to go there.
Why not? Why not? Oh, this is going to be a good episode, isn't it?
I know, I'm really excited.
I think it will be. We still don't know who you guys are.
So this is David Hellard. David Hellard. That's highs and lows. So lows of David Hellard is when I first met him, where I thought he was personally responsible for organising the Sierra Leone Marathon. I was like, why does someone who's supposed to be organising this marathon know so fucking little about this marathon?
That could be the organisers.
And that actually once I realised what the organisation of Sierra Leone Marathon was like, it turned out that David was an absolute hero for basically papering over the cracks of the total lack of organisation.
So we've got to give you a snippet of this story.
Yeah.
Do you want to get Jody? You go. Come on. You were the person who felt.
I felt most aggrieved by this whole experience.
How many years ago was this?
So this was oh god, I can't remember.
The very first time we met.
Yeah, it was the very first time we met. It
Yeah.
was probably a year after I
2013.
started working.
It was 2013.
2013,
Yeah.
so it was a year after I'd started working as a contributing editor on Men's Running. And Danny Coyle sent me an email and said, are you going to go and do the Sierra Leone Marathon? And I said, is that even safe? And he goes, I don't know.
You see, Jody's that bad a runner that a marathon distance to him feels really unsafe. He's like, can anyone get through this?
And I said, all right, that sounds interesting. And he goes, it's going to be shit. And it lived up to its word. So basically, you know what it's like whenever you go on like a jolly as a journalist and everything. Normally, I've been to, I've been with A6 to the Paris Marathon. They stick you in a lovely hotel on the Champs-Elysees. You get all
Macaron
of the
on your pillow.
exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
literally.
Not the guy.
The president does it every day. The French.
That was even before. That was even before he was president. No, he knew.
He gets
knew.
around.
That's how he got the presidency. He literally would fuck anything to get to the top. Even journalists, money journalists. It doesn't matter. So you know what it's like to be treated by a running brand in order, I was a film TV journalist before that, and used to them kind of when their films are shit, the hospitality
Look at him
is
checking
better.
himself out. He was Billy Big Bottom.
No, and so I was like, I'm going to go to Sierra Leone. Okay, so I don't expect it to be kind of amazing or anything else like that. So but I'm supposed to cover it and stuff like that. So the first thing they do is like, oh, you've got to raise some money. I'm like, okay, well that's a bit weird, but I will, but I'll still do that. So I still raised £300. Yeah,
I don't think that's
didn't get a single fucking thank you from that. From them, but I still had to raise. I still raised £300 for them and stuff like that. And so we went. It was the whole thing was so badly organised from start to finish. And so I hardly knew anything. David hardly knew anything. If you've ever got a visa to go to Sierra Leone, you know what the place is.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's about as dodgy as you get. You basically go in a car park and go in a room and that's filled with like loads of like ripped up paper and then someone you.
Jody normally does the accent of the guy in there. Go on,
I never do the accent of the guy in there.
That's probably a Carrie karaoke.
No. And so, okay, so we were flown over to Sierra Leone. I don't know what to expect or anything else like that. We've literally been given like no information whatsoever. It's so sparse. And I think we get there and they take me to this hotel and it's a fucking shithole. This thing is like falling apart, like there is no electricity in my room. It's right next to a stadium where there's like a thing going off. There's no kind of running water. I can't plug anything in. The mosquito net's all fucked. I'm like, right, okay, but this is just what Sierra Leone's like, okay? So I understand, like, this is the I can't actually do the reporting I'm supposed to do because I can't fucking plug anything in. So fine, okay, so I'll kind of like make do with it and things like that. So I'm like, okay, but this is a real shithole, an absolute shithole. But I'm like, okay, we're in a really poor country here, so I'd be an absolute arsehole to kind of say anything or do anything. And so we go on these various things, you know, that we go out to.
Tell them about the medal.
Oh shit! Okay, right, right. There's two bits to that actually. So we go and do the race, which starts at about 5 a.m. But the night before, what they do is they tell us on the race briefing, which is about 11 o'clock the night before. They go, oh, there's no electrolytes on the course, so you've got to find your own. You're like, oh, well, I'll just pop to a fucking sweatshop in McKenney, shall I, and get them? Like, why? Like, what a time to tell us. Like, there was nothing on the course for us to get and stuff like that. It was just, the whole, there was like one map going around, one photocopied map going around of what the thing was like. So we've got no idea. Like, it's just, the thing's absolute chaos. But everyone's kind of putting a brave face on it. David's going, this would be great and stuff like that. And I'm like, this guy's a fucking twat. He's so fucking positive. I'm gonna just.
Were you running it as well?
Yeah.
He was running.
You were
running it.
You were just
No. But he was running. You were running it, weren't you? Because you was part of a big fundraising thing for Street Child. Yeah. And if you raised a certain amount, you'd have an orphanage named after you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, just a school.
I don't know. I think it sounds better when you say orphanage.
It does.
Because it makes sounds like that they're because of you.
I have enough children.
Yeah, exactly. I sired and left so many children. There's an entire orphanage named after me. Like, so this way. So the whole thing's a massive shithole of an organisation, stuff like that. But you're going like this is like everyone's in such poverty and stuff like that. So there's two things that happen after that. I go back to the hotel after we've run the race, and I'm like, oh, can I have a shower? Like, is there a way to have a shower? And they're like, well, yeah, you needed to have a shower between like 8 and 9 o'clock or whatever. And I'm like,
oh my god,
right.
During the race.
And I'm like, yeah, during the race. I'm like, well, I can't do that. And they're like, okay, yeah, you can, but you've got to give us your t-shirt, like your race t-shirt. And I'm like, all right then. So I gave him a race t-shirt. I didn't give a shit about it that much and everything. And then I kind of went outside to kind of watch what was going on. And I was thinking, why are they making such a big deal about getting this water? Surely they'll just get like a bucket full of water and just give it to me.
Yeah.
And I was standing on the balcony of this building that was falling down and all stuff on it. And I looked in the corner of the car park and this pregnant woman goes over to the corner. The well was in the corner. So they got this pregnant woman to basically pull a bucket of water up because I'd requested it. And I'm I felt absolutely dreadful about like getting this woman. Like, and I'm like, oh, this country is just so poor. It's so unbelievable, something like that. David's like, oh, a few of us getting together. Why don't you come over to our hotel? So I'm like, all right then, great. Go over to the hotel. Fucking swimming pool. They had bloody, what's it called, Sky TV with Brighton playing, bloody Palace on the thing. It was so good they had whores at the bar and everything. That was like, I'm like, I thought Sierra Leone was everything was like that. Like, why have you got the lovely hotel and I'm in the shithole?
So that actually links to a story we heard about the studio.
Oh,
This very
Studio.
Oh.
But we've been told we can't tell.
Oh, it's about hooers.
What?
So,
Oh no!
This is a prosy link.
This is what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
So
You guys are so brave on your podcast. I love it.
Talk about nothing.
We're not.
We're talking about fucking running.
we can't get fired from our jobs for it. So,
Oh yeah. Okay.
But
They can sue us, but they'll get nothing.
Yes, unfortunately, ours is quite closely related.
Yeah.
so it turns out a very popular podcast, a recording in here now, by a very tall football player.
Okay, as we speak. Or just...
They're going to be recording here for the next year or so.
Oh, okay.
And when they did the tour of this room, so we're in a small podcast room where there are curtains open and you can see the whole bar. So they closed the curtains. Apparently he said, "This reminds me of Amsterdam."
Oh my goodness.
Because
You'd only know if you'd been in that with that perspective.
Because you're sitting in the window.
In
with
the window.
curtains out of the outside the glass.
and he said that when the curtains were then closed, which I'm not sure whether... I mean, maybe this interviewer is happy with their status as someone who pays sex workers.
Yeah.
I personally think that's horrific. So we were told we weren't allowed to...
Bants, etc., bants.
Yeah.
Exploit the line.
We love a bit of that.
Oh, footballers love it.
So,
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
So some seedy thoughts have happened in this very room.
Some seedy thoughts.
I mean,
maybe.
But no, not CD deeds.
No CD. What? I don't know. What?
they do wipe down the
I
room.
was imagining he was, or they were sort of putting themselves in the position of going to sort of do a trick or a
Trick.
Do you think magicians are in? Your money disappears.
Sex magician.
There are tricks.
I don't know.
Your partner has
If
fooled
you've
you.
got to be
They've
pretty,
really-
you've got to be pretty unattractive as a prostitute.
To have to do
As a
tricks.
sex worker, to go, do you know what, I'm going to use close-up magic in order to... I don't know, I'm not up for it. I'm not up for it, but you can make those cards disappear, so...
Hang on a minute. Are we talking about ping pong balls?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Ping pong balls.
There we go.
I was thinking
Yeah.
ping
I
pong
just thought,
balls.
why are there no female magicians? Other than
Why are there
the
no
women
female
on
magicians?
social outcasts.
Because I think the
sure there
general
are.
thing to think about
Can
is
you
that...
think of a female magician?
Yeah,
I can't.
No, but basically...
Can you think of a male magician?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can think of a few.
Yeah, because there's...
Yeah, loads.
But they're all arseholes, aren't
Loads.
they?
How many? Go on, you're going to say Paul Daniels.
No, David Blaine.
Helen Keller.
Darren Brown.
Paul Daniels once phoned me up. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah. He phoned me up and said that he was in bed with my wife, which is a weird thing to say, but exactly the kind of thing you'd expect Paul Daniels to say.
No, it's not.
No, it is. It is. I mean, he's got a bit. Yeah, come on, Paul Daniels.
Paul Daniels?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one hell of a magic trick.
Isn't
Yeah.
it though? Yeah.
I know.
Sleight of hand.
That is one hell of a magic trick because she's here actually, right next to me right now.
Well, he must have tricked Debbie McGee. Come on, like, there's
Yes.
no way that
Yeah.
that's a proper match. She has been
Yeah.
hypnotised or...
We've been hogging the microphone a little bit too much, but I want to come back on that Paul Daniels story.
Yeah.
Daniel Paul.
It's very weird.
You haven't introduced
Very
me.
Yes, you haven't.
Yes, you haven't.
This is Jody.
I can't even remember my surname. Jody.
His name's Jody. I think.
Jody.
Highlight and lowlight
Yeah.
are connected. He knows about... There's a specific job of someone who cleans the appendage of a horse, and he knows that because he's bought his daughter a pony.
You can get 40 quid an hour washing a horse's penis. What, 40 quid for half an hour? 20 minutes washing a horse's cock. 40 quid.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Why don't we do that?
I know. You get a whole stable full of male horses, and you go. Yeah. You
Why
make
does it
it
need?
on.
Why does it need washing?
Yeah.
Well, well, you don't.
Enlighten
No,
our
no, no.
listeners,
You
because
don't.
we don't know
you
about
don't-
the
Oh, yeah.
upkeep of those
This is-
things.
You don't.
Yeah.
You only know about female horses.
Yeah, we only know about female
Yeah.
horse vaginas. So
Yes.
tell us about horse penises.
I don't know what would be worse, cleaning a
Penile?
horse vagina or cleaning a horse penis. It's very difficult to.
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out.
Where are we going to find that in Waterloo? Like, where's the nearest stable? Like, what?
So, worst guess then, ladies.
We were going to talk about this, weren't we?
Or
Yeah.
most worst
you.
guest, most controversial guest.
Oh God.
Well, controversial in what way? Controversial to the listener or controversial to the choice being made? Because we have different controversies between us as to around that.
I mean,
Go on.
controversially, I think that probably this might be. Because I don't know if you've realised, but you're blokes, and we're the Women's Running podcast, so it's a bit
Do you
like...
not have any-
You guys
do you
are
not
actually
have-
the first blokes. Yeah.
You
Do
are.
you not have
First
any men at all on your podcast?
Yeah.
None at all?
None.
Not because we're like horrible
Racist
women.
against men?
Hate the bastards.
That's going to be
essentially.
hard though, right? Because
Oh yeah, but
Because
however,
are women good at running? That's what he's about to say.
Yeah,
But do women run?
Like,
And they're quite funny,
they?
and they can do magic tricks. Yes, they can do all those things.
well, when we first started, as Esther said at the beginning of the pod, we started the Women's Running podcast in lockdown, and it was. I'm talking about this.
This
You
is a-
started it.
Shall I? Yeah.
You tell.
When I started, it was a lockdown. Well, I'd started doing the interviews before lockdown.
Right.
We went into lockdown. I had some time on my hands. I was like, let's just get this out. And it was interview based. And it was me interviewing various people. Started off with Anna McNuff and then kind of moved on from there.
good stuff.
What was
Yeah.
stuff like
when you
that.
started it? Like, did you have like an idea of what you wanted it to be?
Oh my God, yes. I wanted to be Adam Buxton. Obviously.
We all want to be Dr.
We
Buckles.
all want to be
We do wanna
Buckles.
be Buckles.
Yeah. So that's where I wanted to come from. I was not Buckles. And
In what sense?
it was the only podcast really that I listened to. I absolutely loved him,
Yeah.
and I loved that. And I think there was a thing then as well with the podcast that when we launched it, there wasn't a women's running specific podcast where it was kind of long enough as well. I wanted it to be long. I wanted it to be kind of 40 minutes to an hour, so that people. So because I would listen to other podcasts that shall remain nameless that finished after about 25 minutes, and I'd be like, oh. You know, and you have to.
I don't
kind of-
listen to any other running podcasts. Which ones are those?
I'm not going to say.
Go on, tell me.
No.
Go on.
But do you?
do some last 25 minutes?
I mean, that's what I find shocking, because surely, like, we're a weird niche, aren't we? Because you kind of want to talk about running a bit because
Yeah.
people are interested in running. But what I think most people do when they listen to our pods is they run while they're listening.
Yeah, so they want
So you don't
distraction,
want to talk
right?
about it
Yeah.
too much, and you want it to be long enough that you can fill marathon training or
Yeah.
you can fill like a chunky weekend run.
That's exactly what.
And
That's what I was
25
asking
minutes.
you.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
that's-
said right at the start we're never going to go over half an hour. That's what
Yeah,
we said.
so
We said
did
we're
we.
never
Yeah.
going to go over half an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and we like people wanted more. People wanted to we were editing it quite a lot, and then people wanted more 3 hours. Like I think the last one was.
But I think
Yeah.
it takes kind of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Say you've got someone who's famous, to actually get them out of being I'm famous, selling my story and saying the normal thing.
Especially
Or-
US guests, especially
Yeah.
who've got the patter down and they want to talk about their things. I think especially US guests,
Yeah.
you need to kind of disrupt them a bit, don't you?
But do you
Oh,
find though, because like I find with like, if you look at male and female guests, there in some ways there are more female guests in the UK because Britain I think pulls its weight more running wise on the global scale in female running. But then there's fewer headlines for women. There are like fewer outlandish things that women tend to do, and so actually it's harder to get female guests on because there are fewer high-profile females that have good stories other than just they're good at Instagram or
absolutely. That's
We've had a few of those, and
Yeah,
that
we
might
have.
be potential. So naughty on this podcast.
don't want to
That
slag
might
anyone
be
off.
potential for some of the contenders.
Yeah.
but
I mean,
guests.
I think I would have to say, without naming names, that actually some of the work, because we don't really do those interviews that much anymore.
That's what I was gonna say. We
at
don't
all.
do guests too often anymore, do we?
No,
'Cause,
no.
like, we started deciding to do. So we thought we needed to be a podcast for runners to listen to get tips and tricks and learn about running and hear from elites. And then I think we just learnt more and more that us chatting shit.
Oh my God! It
was-
doubled our listenership when I got
Yeah.
Holly on to talk about how we couldn't actually run very well, and suddenly and I think some of the guests that we had on, the ones that did much less well were proper elites, proper famous elites.
really.
Yeah, and
So just response to that, or just fewer downloads?
just fewer downloads. Fewer people just not interested in quite a dry interview with Paula or whatever. I know
something
Same
else. I know another secret that I probably shouldn't.
Go on,
Go on,
do it.
that bit.
I love
Do it,
that.
do it.
I'm genuinely trying to think if I can say.
I'm going to say, so far, this call out for people ordering drinks with us has been terrible.
It's been shit,
You were
hasn't it?
promising that we were going to get.
women.
Oh, exactly. A bunch of misogynists in our
That's
group.
we're women.
Yeah, exactly.
nearly had a
Women
half
should not
pint
be
just
able
in
to
case.
drink.
It's because no one knows how to order a schooner of sherry. Is it like women drinks?
I'm going to order a
Port and lemon.
because the do-badders haven't stepped up. What would people like?
What, a drink?
Ooh, I would.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so kind.
What's that beer like? Is it nice?
It's really lovely. I'm having the punk IPA, which I think is the basic bitch.
It is.
Basic bitch. It is the
Of
basic
Brewdog
bitch.
drinks.
It's quite an aggressive basic bitch.
Yeah.
They changed the recipe.
It's not a little
It
bit.
used to be much nicer.
So
What have they done with that glass?
They've
What the
made
fuck
it
is that?
sort of squashed between two
Is that to do with?
pallets.
Yeah, is it to do with transportation or something?
Yes, I don't know,
It's
something
very
like that.
weird.
But then they've got a weird top.
It's like it's supposed to be letterbox friendly
Yeah.
or something.
So
Letterbox friendly.
I'm gonna put in a non-alcoholic beer for myself, just as a top up.
yeah.
Just a
Okay.
chase because I'm meeting my wife who's we'll come to that later. But I was in Liège, so I was in Belgium, and I was trying to explain to.
He had to say he didn't think you'd know what Liège is.
I was in the home of Stella, and I was trying to explain to the waitress. We called it wife beater. Okay.
Oh yeah, how do you explain that?
You don't want to start explaining that. Why would you even begin that conversation?
Did she start crying?
That's
Like,
awful.
why do you bring this up? Why?
It's quite tough when.
Besides, I thought it was Cronenberg.
No, Stella is
Definitely
Stella.
Stella.
Shouldn't be
Yeah.
wife beater. Yeah.
But she then retorted and laughed in my face that Stella was seen as a strong beer in the UK.
That's what I was going to say. I was literally just going to say that. Like, why is Stella the wife beater? Would that not be like special brew?
Yeah,
or
it should be,
something?
shouldn't it? It should be Carlsberg.
But they're not.
Yeah.
They're not in relationships.
We'd be drinking special brew, like on your honeymoon.
On your honeymoon.
Special
There you
brew.
go. See, potentially you are
Sat
in a
on the banks of
relationship.
Malawi drinking special brew.
Romantic.
Yeah, trying to fight alligators.
But you two are
and
trying
Bill
to.
Hart's here.
No
Yeah.
other liquid that's going to
Exactly, I know.
encourage to
I
fight
didn't-
in alligators.
You need that to fight the wildlife in Africa. That's it.
But you two are avoiding the. I think you need to describe the details of the worst guest.
Yeah, we are kind of
At
avoiding.
least.
I'm going to
describe the
I'm going to
concept.
massively cop out here and I'm going to say Esther is probably the best person to ask this question to because, as we've said, since it's been the two of us, we do get a guest sometimes and there have been uncomfortable silences that we've had to edit out.
So what
And do you
causes those
have
silences?
contact between yourselves during those interviews so that you can communicate to each other that this is not
I
going
think
well?
we had quite a
or-
lot of swearing over WhatsApp when we had particular, like probably two of the more like high profile, I'm doing inverted commas for the listener, people that we've had on the show, because generally like we've had some like quite big name runners, but like two big
Oh, I tell you what, I'm happy to mention that,
Are you?
that Scummies.
Yeah, it was Scummy
We had the
Mummies
Scummy
we
Mummies
had
on,
on the
and
pod.
we had lots of technical issues,
okay.
which was
I think we did do quite a lot of bitching behind the scenes during that.
yeah,
So,
we did. We had we had a lot of technical issues. Well, one turned up late, and
they're
that was fine, and she
podcasters, aren't
apologised.
they?
Yes, they are podcasters, but we had loads of technical issues, and I think we probably tired them slightly by the time we got started because we were like fucking around
okay.
with so I think that
Yes, it
was
was a little.
You think
there was a little lull in like they're
Yeah.
podcasters, but also they do a comedy show. Like they tour a comedy show,
and so we were sort of saying,
really
come on, tell a
expecting-
joke, let's
Yeah,
be funny.
We were like, the banter's gonna be flying.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
Zoom.
hard with people
Yeah.
that you expect to be funny. That's
Yeah.
the thing, because they're not funny when they're not doing like stand up or something
Exactly,
like
it
that.
can be quite
there's-
serious.
yeah.
And it was a very serious conversation.
It was serious, but it started with we normally do ours in person.
Yeah,
Big
because
silence.
immediately we
So-
took his huge shade and we
Yeah.
were like, oh, right, fuck
Sorry.
it, sorry that our Zoom isn't
Sorry
gonna-
about this.
It's tough though. And say when you get the running celebrities on, do you think it is almost impossible to get interviews, good interviews, honest interviews, because they're too well trained?
Yes.
Or
Yes, I think I've had It depends where they are. So I've spoken to like a bunch of runners where sometimes they're too young, because when it comes to elites, you get a 21-year-old and there's just not enough life experience to kind of chat about.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, and then sometimes they're really super polite. So like Joe Pavey, super polite, really, really sweet, really lovely woman. But again, there's...
Although Joe likes to
You meet her in person. You meet her in person, swearing like a trooper.
Should have got a piss.
I've had some great nights out with Joe.
That maybe I should have done that. And so so I think
is that the key?
And also it's the type of runner in there. I think. Do you think that trail and fell and all of that? Do you think those runners and ultra runners are funner than track? And I'm going to say yes.
I don't know. There's some boring bastards out there in all of those ones.
Well, you name and shame then. Go on.
I don't know.
Go on. Same question.
But I think they can be. But I think the difference is that we're almost used to the Born to Run, or what's the foot one with Christopher McDougall.
Yeah, Born to Run.
Born to Run.
Yeah.
Where there's stories of these ultra runners who.
Oh yeah, we like the story.
Which is crazy fun, and also ultra run. But actually now, trail and ultra is so professional because it's the levels increase. So actually, to be performing at the top, now have to be a professional athlete.
It's not like the good old days of ultra when I started in it, of course, and everything. Where it wasn't, where it wasn't about times and those kind of things. It was all about the community. It's all about the community, which meant that they were usually a shit runner. That's what it normally means. Yeah. Oh, it's about the community. It wasn't about times.
That's like that Strava thing, isn't it? That Strava thing where it's like, I was running with, when you say I went for a run with Claire. Yeah. And it's kind of a clue to sort of say, she's shit.
Yes, when you have a slow Strava
that's why
time,
I was
and it's
slow.
like, lovely lunchtime run with Claire.
Yeah.
I've got to say, it's a bit fucking rude, David, just like fucking Instagramming while we're trying to do this interview.
I know.
I'm trying to put my shame and
I
details
feel
in.
responsible for this because I'm concerned. We put a call out on the Bad Boy Running Facebook group.
Yeah, and it's embarrassed us.
And before we started, and it was saying
Literally
we were here in the studio and to send drinks. And I'm genuinely concerned that we've really cramped your style here because no drinks have arrived.
We had no style before.
Those nerds.
There was literally no style. We have rinsed them with for so much cash that they have nothing left.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Special brew.
That's it.
They're protected. Right, the order's in. I panic, so I just orders all the same drink.
Fine, absolutely
a good
fine.
panic. Good
yes,
panic.
Yes.
Quite difficult to do an order. A sort of QR code order thing while you're on
podcasting.
A podcast. Yeah.
And you've got to approve
Not for
it.
David. It's about. I've got you some presents.
You have
We've got you the FYB, and we've got you our special anti-cycling, but not a buff. Not a buff.
Anti-cycling.
Not a buff.
I love that so much.
This could be this is a good who do we hate?
I know. This brings us on to a really good. We were genuinely going to ask you this. So something that
no presents.
No presents.
None.
No presents.
Your presence is enough present.
I'm going to wear mine.
Your job is words. I can tell. That's amazing. Oh, let's do this.
Is it? Yes.
Oh no, it's not verified by
Yeah, that looks great.
That's
just so.
There's a kind of Trump thing going on there.
Something reminds me of my granddad wearing it.
Is it
I don't
giving
know
Make
what
America Great Again?
It is a bit.
Oh God, it is, isn't it?
We sent one. We sent one to Camille Heron, and she's like, "Who the fuck sent me this?" We're like, "We literally just interviewed you, didn't we?" She's like, "What is this shit that I've been sent?"
We've sent it to Kipchoge's bottle man to wear so that Kipchoge can spot him when he's running marathons.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what it means because it means "fuck you, buddy." Because that's how we say hello to each other in a kind of fun, friendly way.
I love that. I tell you what, this is going to out me as not a super fan. But tell me, you have your midweek episode.
Yeah.
TBS.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
That's the bad stuff.
Oh, the bad stuff.
We started by calling it the guff internally. But then we realised
internally, yeah.
we realised that probably wasn't great brand positioning.
But you love the acronyms.
Yeah.
We really think about the acronyms. We do a lot of acronyms. Well, we're marketers, really, aren't we? That's the thing. We're marketing dickheads.
I love
Isn't
TBS. I wanted to know because that's what me and my partner call the big shop. We call that TBS.
What's the big shop?
Oh, yeah, well,
Like
you
when
go
you
to
go to Stainos or
Did you say Waitrose?
Yeah.
No, I said Stainos.
Oh, I thought you said Waitrose. Do the big shop at Waitrose.
No one does the
No,
big
you
shop
do.
at
You get your
Waitrose.
bits at Waitrose or M&S. Everyone knows that.
No.
Big shop at
No.
Tesco.
Yeah.
Your bits at
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
that's
nice.
it,
You've got
that's it,
time
yeah.
to shop twice.
I
Oh,
don't-
come on, everyone. Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, I
Online.
do the one.
You do the big
TBS.
shop, and then you do the top up,
The big
don't
shop.
you?
Oh,
Yeah.
always
Because
top
your
up.
milk runs out, your bread
Yeah.
runs out.
Yeah.
If you've got kids, literally everything runs out.
Within 2 days. Within
Right.
2 fucking days.
Fucking hell.
Down
The
Look
amount
at
of
Esther,
apple
she
juice.
looks like a little boy who's going to do a rap.
Let's take that off. That's,
Yeah.
this
I
is
liked
Nike.
that
That's Nike.
bit.
That's Nike. That's.
Oh, I don't like that.
I've also
Oh,
bought some
have you seen
treats.
Air?
Oh my goodness, you guys have
No.
got lovely things.
You've not seen the film Air?
No, I
Oh
haven't.
no. Did you watch it, Air?
I don't actually watch anything about.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Oh, it's on the list. Okay, well we won't talk about it.
It's on
Have
the
you
list.
bought snacks?
Bought some product placements.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Don't trust a word he says. The amount of non-vegan shit he's
No,
fed
this is
me.
vegan.
I know it might be vegan, but
It's definitely vegan. It's definitely vegan.
Oh my
Look
god.
delicious.
So, best guest. Oh no, we haven't said our worst guest, have we?
Yeah.
It's our worst.
Can
Have
I go
you-
for one of these? Shall I
Oh,
say it
can
I-
now
can
for
I?
our listeners?
Yeah.
Go on.
Right, it's the caffeine bullet ginger raws.
Only 33 milligrams of caffeine. Bit cheeky. Not too strong. But
Is this
Perfect.
Stephen Bartlett approved?
have you...
Did he?
He's going to be promoting soon.
Is he?
Oh my
Hopefully.
god, it's great.
I know, right? I feel like
Well,
that.
they were good actually when you originally
Oh, that's
tasted it. I
lush.
don't know if I've.
I really like that.
Have you ever not published an episode with that interview because you've just thought,
Because it's so bad.
oh
Yeah.
god?
You have.
Can you mouth who it is?
No, because I can't actually remember who it was.
You've just had to cut that from your memory.
But I do. What I remember is that the PR company for this person was
Oh,
like,
yeah, the fucking
you have to do you have to do this, you have to do this.
so they
And then
had you taken the
They
guest?
didn't turn up on the bloody call
no,
as well, did they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they might have done, but what I got out of it because the PR moved jobs.
Oh, thank God.
So they pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Oh, I tell you what was really awful was the first half hour I forgot to press record.
Oh, we've done that loads.
Oh, that's
So bad.
that makes it quite tough.
Then she came back on and we had to do it again and she was really cross. So then it's basically a really cross interview. But then the PR left and went to another company. And I just thought, oh, fuck it, I'll leave it.
And did she have a tone in the interview of like, well, as I said before, you'd have known
That was,
that.
as
As I previously mentioned in my other email, like that passive aggressive.
she was not happy.
You should have thrown in some like, well, I mean, talk about the thing you mentioned in the last, in the thing we didn't record, to do with how you were like punching cats. It's like really like try. If you're like, if you're going to play this game, I'm going to play this
How
game.
you're a big litterer.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, I know.
Are we
How many
talking-
seals have you kicked in the face before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this someone who you thought would be good, or someone you liked previously? Or
That's a
Neither
great
of those
question.
things. She was actually someone I'd been bullied into using.
okay.
So it was more to do with
Classic
being
PR
kind to the
tactic.
PR and kind of that sort of thing. It was
Never
like,
be kind to the PR. It never works.
oh God, it was awful. It was an absolute shit show. So same question back then. Have you ever shelved anything? This one, right?
Well, no one. This is great.
Whoa!
Knock on the door.
Come in. Just pull it. There we go.
What's your name, sir?
Alex! It's Alex!
What is the highlight of your life and low light of your life so far?
Working here and working here. Had its ups and downs.
You're a star, Alex.
Well, then we need
Thank you
to
very
ask a
much.
specific question that you have to answer with something that we can use. So, Alex, if you were to say of the four of us, who has run the least miles in their life?
In their life. What's everyone's names first?
Oh my god.
I'm David.
David.
I'm Jody.
And which of the four do you think would be the best parent?
Oh, I'm Holly.
Holly would be the best parent.
Oh, straight up!
I haven't got children.
Could still be right. It could still be right. Yeah, it could still be right. And we don't.
I haven't got bags under my
We'll
eyes.
have to.
Energy.
We'll have to come back
still
in
likes
like
kids.
Yeah.
And going back to the least miles, maybe Jody. Sorry.
Oh, it's probably me.
It's because he's so young.
no,
exactly.
that's it. Yeah.
Hasn't had the time to get smiles in.
And when's the last time you went for a good run, Alex?
I did parkrun 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Did you win? Did you win?
I've never won.
One of these days.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Well, thank you for joining us on
Go
podcast,
Alex.
Alex.
Enjoy your drinks.
We love Alex.
Cheers, Alex.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Oh, poor Alex. Love
He did well. He did well. He responded well.
He did great. He responded.
He did, I know, he did. Like, didn't bat an eyelid there. Feels like he's been abused many a time in this room, doesn't it? It's like, oh, fuck, I've got to answer all this shit
Well,
again.
I mean, we know some of the stuff
it's
that's
lovely.
gone down in some of these rooms.
Oh, boy.
Some just previously discussed.
Did you notice how he started to crouch as he entered? Anywho, we've canned a few episodes.
We have canned a few episodes, and we've done it under the basis that Riverside was shit.
Technical
that was
errors.
it. Yeah, technical errors. Yeah. Well, the thing is, sometimes accidentally someone has, and it has always been the people that have pitched themselves. Like normally, it's people that have pitched themselves go, "Oh, I'll be really great at this interview," and there literally has been like a handful of people who said, "Oh, I'll be great to come on." We don't normally find those people, do we? Normally, it's by recommendation or something else.
We had an athlete who was a very high level athlete who was like been to the Commonwealth Games. I'd love to come on. It's gonna be serious bants, and it just I think when someone comes, because we've got a reputation for being quite fun. When someone comes in with that, it doesn't really work.
No, serious bands, not
it's
the
awful.
tagline
Yeah,
to lead
it doesn't
with.
work. It doesn't work.
But what do you do when there are times in the interviews where you just start thinking, I'm so bored. And you start thinking about other stuff, right?
Don't, float
And
off.
then you kind of, and then the question finishes, the answer finishes, and you're just there going, oh man, like how do you claw that back?
David does this fucking thing, right? So he'll do this whole interview with someone and he'll get really technical. I'm like, I've no fucking clue what he's talking about now. Because he'll start talking about technical shit. Oh, how many fucking milligrams of this have you got in your blood? And he'll start like, what the fuck? He's talking like Japanese. And so I'm like, I've zoned out. I'm like, I've no idea what's going on. I can't actually get into this conversation again. And then right at the end, you'll go, any questions, Joe? Any extra questions, Joe? And I'll go, fuck. Oh, no, I just think that was a really great interview and stuff like that. And I'm like, why'd you keep asking me that question?
Yeah, that's like the end of a
showing
job
me up.
interview.
But
That's
yeah.
awful.
That's kind of
Yeah.
me, but isn't that quite good? Like we sort of, I feel, slot into roles somewhat.
Yeah.
What are your roles?
We do.
I think Esther is the one who knows a bit more what she's talking about, I would say.
Marginally.
Marginally.
Really, really marginally. But I think it's more to do with the fact that I would, if we've got a guest on, then I will draw up a list of questions. So I come across as being the mechanical,
So you prepare.
basic
Esther prepares,
interview
whereas I'm
bitch.
like, you know what? It's
Yeah.
going to be whatever we said earlier, epic band.
We just, you know what? we do zero preparation.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
me
good.
too.
We do, and so sometimes things happen where it's quite brilliant in many ways. Like we got Courtney DeWalter on without really understanding at what level Courtney DeWalter was, because we'd heard she'd done a backyard ultra, so we got her on to just explain what a backyard ultra was, not knowing that she was like
3 times really.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. And then when we're having this conversation, all this shit's coming out. Going, fucking hell. Like the time that Chrissy Wellington came on, I had no idea who Chrissy Wellington was.
Yeah.
No idea whatsoever until about 3 seconds before we came on, and I looked at a Wikipedia page. And I'm like, fuck. but we had an amazing interview because all she talked about was like bullying in that. And if we'd have done like research and stuff
Then
about
you
that,
would
we'd
have
started-
tell us about
Oh,
the first
God,
time
yeah,
we got
all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And stuff
Yeah.
like
That's
that.
how badly he treated her that she just felt.
I feel the need to talk about bullying. The last time I felt this awful. What I liked about Chrissy Wellington is that when she was on the podcast, she was going, "Oh no, if you're going to do a triathlon, you can use my bike. You can use my bike." And then after we got off the interview, I'm like, "Can I use your bike?" And she's like, "No, fuck it." She's like, "There's no fucking chance."
Oh yeah.
Like,
Who are the people you think have they flick a switch? They're on and they're off.
Oh.
Because that does happen, right?
Me and you, probably.
Me and you.
I think we both do that a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes we will literally be like bitching about everything that we're doing at work. Sorry to any colleagues who are listening.
We hate our toxic work environment so much.
And we'll be like complaining about something we've been asked to do or something right up until the moment we hit record, and then we're like, hi, you're listening to the Women's Podcast. And then immediately, as soon as we stop recording again, we're like, fuck's sake.
Because when do you have a set time? Because we record Wednesday mornings, and so it's like hump day morning.
Nice.
You've just woken up, you're tired.
That is good.
But no, I think
But it sets you up, right? You feel it picks you up, or is it bringing you down?
This is the bad stuff where we meet and we just like with life is shattering us at that point. And then we like switch into now we're hey.
Yeah.
But when do you guys record? Does it change the
It changes because we're a bit last minute with. I'm a bit last minute with it, but I think like when we record in the mornings, when we do a 10 o'clock in the morning,
It's usually Monday or Tuesday morning.
so
isn't
much
it?
better than if we do an afternoon one. We're fucked, don't we?
Yeah, we're
really?
absolutely
Dreadful.
fucked if we do an afternoon
Yeah.
one. It's horrendous.
Really
That
bad.
was what I was going to ask you guys, speaking of that. You know, when you're recording one that you're like, oh, this is slow one. What's the worst thing you've ever done? And then you've been like, fucking hell, I'm supposed to be recording a podcast here. Like on your phone or like filing your nails.
Well, I was one thing where I was talking to David and he was sharing his screen and forgot he was sharing his screen, and then I saw he looking at his Tinder profile on the screen while he was messaging. Of course, it was really early on. You know Harriet from Farnham.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, Harriet from Farnham.
Everyone remembers Harriet from Farnham.
He forgot he was sharing his screen. So what we originally did it on Skype. We started on Skype, didn't we? And he was showing me something, and then he forgot he was sharing his screen. And we were having this conversation. I could see what he was clicking round on. And this
Oh
his
my
profile.
God, that's amazing.
How does that remind me of that training course we were on recently? But perhaps we shouldn't go into that.
Online training.
Online training.
It wasn't
training.
like diversity training or
No, don't worry. It was nothing sensitive.
Okay.
It was
about
Google Analytics
safety
training, I think.
no,
Is that not what you're thinking of?
No, it was about safety. It was.
Sorry, we've done a lot of shit training.
Yeah, no, it was about passwords. Don't you remember?
But what
Because
is
he was going.
Yes, so it's about passwords. We were getting a collective password solution.
You know, like KeyPass,
there we go,
right? That kind of thing,
marketing. Collective password solution for the company.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like a thing we all downloaded, and then it's meant to be safer and more secure, and you don't have anyone hacking and God forbid.
But then
steal
Holly
your
and I,
7
we got a
Instagram
fit of the
followers.
giggles halfway through this because the guy that was doing it was being asked by our colleagues to show his own personal password.
Yeah.
So we were like,
that was the time we texted.
it's gonna be
and
Pornhub.
We were
It's
like
gonna be
Pornhub, straight up Pornhub.
So he actually showed his
He
password,
didn't show his.
No.
He showed us his like, and then they were like asterisks now.
Yeah.
But he showed the domains, and we were just watching him, and we were like, he's gonna fucking expose himself. He's 100% gonna be like OnlyFans. Like we completely thought he was gonna
couldn't
scroll
quite
a little bit too
contain
far
ourselves.
down and reveal his sexual
proclivities.
proclivities.
Cheap for dicks.
Yeah. Who knows?
It's high up on the ABC list.
Who knows?
It's,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, have I just drifted out?
It's
Hang on.
ABC.
Yeah, bit raw.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Oh, are you going to get another?
I would never pay
another
for it.
Ruby.
I'd never pay for that. That's it. I'm too cheap to pay for a subscription. There's no way that would happen.
I think I'm going to wear this side on. I think that's more my style.
Nice. Esther's got the hat on, side on.
So
Is that more Bieber?
That's good. I mean, that's good from a
From a marketing
perspective. Yeah. Anya, who is our who does like our social media for us and is now like kind of a big thing. She came into the group, and the first thing that happened is that she came into the group, saw that someone had copied something that she'd posted from another group, so immediately felt like what the fuck is going on? And then made a comment and said, oh, hi, I'm here. And someone said FYB to her. And she thought FYB meant fuck you, bitch. So he thought she was walking in to the most like misogynist, like aggressive.
It can be for us though.
Right wing.
Should we do that? So you guys have got. We were joking about this on the way down in the train where we were like, are we the brother and sister of podcasts that are supposed to be about running but are never about running?
Yeah, probably.
Are you our brothers?
I think we might be running podcast siblings.
Yeah.
So maybe we
Or cousins.
can have fuck you, bitch. Can we have that?
Yeah, because
Nice.
Why not?
We were
Yeah.
thinking about using our worst.
Why not FYC?
FYC.
Oh yeah, we're gonna reclaim it.
Yeah.
We're gonna reclaim it.
reclaim or FYV.
And only the true fans will know.
Exactly, that's it. Yeah, FYC.
Because we were going to use our worst reviews that we'd got on Apple Charts, haven't we? Because we
Have
had
you
some
guys
blinders.
should we do that? Have you guys what's the
worst review
you ever got?
Oh no, you know that we use all of ours as marketing materials. We got them on like
We were
like
talking about
banners
doing
and stuff.
that.
Have you? Because we were going to do
my
that.
God!
Yeah, we were talking about
We
doing
did it
the
before
same thing.
Brewdog bloody did it. Yeah, we did it right from the start.
I have just had
always listening.
Beavis and
They're
Butthead do
always
running. That's like one of them.
Amazing.
One star.
Oh, I can't even
or
get
like two posh boys from
Yeah, two
was it?
posh boys like
laughing their own jokes.
laughing at their own jokes. What's it called? My dog.
We're two
You two. What's it called?
possible-
You two talking about running is like my dog talking about astronomy.
That's what we get too a lot
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah.
I think the worst we've ever had was someone left a really like angry review once, being like, "These two." It was like listening to these two. You presume they were like it was like two presumably university educated women. Sounding like two 14-year-olds.
That's a compliment.
Yes, I thought so.
You're like,
Presumably.
why are you
Presumably.
presuming?
How you presuming? What? Of course we are.
I only went to a college of higher education, so quite
But I haven't got a phone to bring it up.
yeah,
but it
and I
was
don't
like-
have any internet. But it was it was that. There was. I also really liked the one where it was something like these two women talk for 20, sometimes 30 minutes without actually mentioning running, which I quite
we were
liked.
like, oh,
That's brilliant.
We're
That's a banner.
we've got it then. We're doing
You should
it right.
you should set up like an automatic something that cuts in and just goes running. Every 10 minutes,
Good
it's
idea.
just like running.
So
No
that
matter
at
what it
work,
is.
we can still get away with taking a few hours out of our work week to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one actually wants to listen about running. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? No one actually wants to listen to running. People just want literally to pretend they're sat with you in a pub.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
Should we talk about the other running podcasts?
Oh my god, should we bitch about
Well, I
we?
could do, but I don't listen to any other running
said-
podcasts.
So I
I did to
said,
begin
I
with.
don't really understand. I don't really listen to podcasts at all. Like,
Oh,
it's-
I love a pod.
Yeah, but running ones are really
But,
boring.
Yeah, I
aren't
was
they?
going to say that's why I think I think that's why we took our podcast in the direction that we did, because when I run, I listen to podcasts that are like silly, fun. I don't really listen to. We're calling someone here.
Cool.
Oh my god, who are you calling?
calling Ben.
from Runners World.
Oh, for
my
God's
God.
sake!
I don't think he'll pick up, but you never know.
he declined.
I knew what was coming.
Shame.
He goes, I know what's going. He's probably sitting.
Surely you'd let that ring out. Surely.
On.
Are we
He
going to
does
record a
he not
message?
know?
We're going to record a message. So, so Ben, you've declined the call.
We've seen
We're
it.
gonna shit
And
talk
you're
you
now.
now.
You've been named and shamed.
Named and shamed. We're doing a live podcast with women's running,
Yay!
and we haven't thought this through. I haven't thought this through, but we were hoping we could get you live,
That's literally
on
the
the
story of our lives.
Bad Women's Running Podcast.
Yeah, that's the crossover.
Yeah, I
name.
like that. Yeah.
There we go. We'll see how it
nice.
goes.
Maybe
We'll
I
see.
shouldn't have said we're going to shit talk you now. at the beginning of that voice
Maybe
note.
not, no.
It'll be-
Fuck you, buddy.